It's Sunday, September 18th at 7:19 a.m. and it's time for another episode of Comics and Coffee. What's up, everybody? I'm Stan, and welcome to Detail Comics, where we go over comics in detail. This is Comics and Coffee, where it's basically my live, unedited kind of show that I do every Sunday morning, so that way I can give you guys an idea as to what's coming up this week. And overall, you got to be asking yourself, why is this dude so put together at 7 o'clock in the morning and so pumped up? It's not just the coffee. So overall, had a really good week on the channel. I'm really happy with the way that the videos are going. I'm going through a few redesigns on things like thumbnails and stuff like that, just so that way I can make them a little bit more appealing. You know, really taking some time to invest in the channel. The other thing that I'm really doing right now is I'm going over concepts. So what I really want to do is I want to start branching off into different styles of videos, still primarily revolving around the comic book scene, but I'm going to start producing a few different videos, and I've got a few ideas as to what I want to do. With this, the end of September going into October, we're going to see the last few books come out from DC regarding DC Rebirth. So we're going to get Super Sons, Trinity, Trinity, the Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman books, stuff comes out next week. And then you've also got Raven, which is like a little mini-series that takes place between Teen Titans and then Teen Titans Rebirth. And then we get Teen Titans Rebirth as well as Super Sons. Those should be coming out before the end of October. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a DC ranking video. So I'm going to go through like all the books from the top tier of DC Rebirth all the way down to, the rest. So that's one of the videos that I really want to do. And then I'm also going to tie into a few things in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I'm really excited about that because it gives me the opportunity to do a little bit of speculation and investigation, really kind of dive in to the topics and how like the MCU has presented things so far and how they're going to present them in the future. So I'm really excited about that. And I hope that you guys are really going to, I hope that you're going to really like the videos because I'm putting a little bit of thought into how I want to kind of present them and the kind of stories behind them. So it's really like making a case for, making an argument for this perspective. But of course, it's always an opinion, so you guys are always welcome to comment on anything and give me a little bit of feedback as to, what you think I've got right, what you think I've got wrong, and then we can start that discussion, and hopefully it'll foster some more videos as well. What I've got on the screen behind me is the top 100 comics of August. So that means that Diamond is going to be publishing their, list of top 100 comics, as well as their full manufacturer production, their distribution numbers, what it comes down to as far as how many books were sold to distributors or to comic book shops all across the country, which is where we're going to see kind of like the second iteration of DC Rebirth. And based on what I saw in my comic book shop this week, on issues 6, because retailers had the ability to return books, up to issue 5 on a lot of the Rebirth titles, I have seen massive reductions in ordering for a lot of different books. So, like, Green Lanterns is something that's really loved by a lot of people, but it's not a book that I'm necessarily reading, and I've seen that go from, like, a 30-book order down to, like, a 12-book order at my local comic book shop. And it's not just, limited to books that are maybe hit or kind of miss amongst some fans. It's like Superman and Batman. Those are all, they're dropping their total numbers for what's going to be coming out to the shops just because they're no longer returnable. They have to kind of rely on people that are reordering books. So, like I mentioned in a previous video, DC Rebirth numbers are going to become more important for the September and October numbers because that's going to give us sorry about that. So that's going to give us an indication as to what's really going on in DC Rebirth production and the reception. Because I know that there are a whole lot of good books, but it's overwhelming. There's just too many books for a lot of people to read. Like I go in and I spend $50 a week on comic books, and a lot of people can barely spend, half that or less. So it's I don't know how they could keep up with like all the good titles and even some of the mediocre titles that I'm picking up right now. With a smaller budget that they can't really prioritize in those respects. So that's going to be really interesting to see. I kind of want to tie into that a little bit more. One of the big things is that not today, but like next Sunday, I'm probably going to be coming to you guys a little bit even earlier than this. Like I'm thinking 5 or 6 a.m. because I am planning on going to Hartford Comic Con. So Hartford Comic Con, pretty small con compared to Boston Comic Con, which I went to, around 2 months ago. And they're going to have a few creators there. They're not going to have nearly they're not going to have like Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo and those kind of guys. But I'm really excited because I get to go see and meet and chat with Carr Andrews, who's writing Renato Jones, and he's the author of the new upcoming Iron Fists book from Marvel Now 2.0, as well as Matthew Rosenberg, who's doing Four Kids Walk Into a Bank. He's doing the Kingpin tie-in book for Civil War 2 and the Kingpin mainstream book that's going to be launching in Marvel Now 2.0 as well. So at least those two guys and a bunch of other different creators that I kind of want to go and talk to. And I want to get the idea of what really happens around a smaller con and, meet some people, really kind of get a little bit more information on the industry as a whole, because as I'm sure you guys are aware by it at this point in time, I'm taking some time writing some comic book scripts, short stories, so that way I can meet illustrators and see about getting something published sometime in the future. It's one of those things where, it's a goal, it's just a matter of finding the time to get everything done. So that's really what we're going to be doing, or at least what I'm going to be doing on the channel. So what you can expect in the future, I'm probably right after this, I'm going to be starting to film preview picks for Monday, and then we're going to do Shelf Appeal on Wednesday. Expect another irate review on Thursday, as well as a weekly one-shot. And this weekly one-shot, I'm not necessarily sure what I'm going to tie it into, but overall I think it's going to be pretty special, so that's kind of cool. And then I want to do a TV rundown before, probably I'm going to do the TV rundown for Monday before Tuesday night, because Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes back on Tuesday, and I kind of want to hit all the upcoming superhero-based TV shows, the comic book-based TV shows, before they start really rolling off. So I'll give a rundown on that, and that should be a video that's going to post a little bit early in the week as well. So, as always, this is Comics and Coffee. Basically, if you have any ideas for what you want me to do for videos coming up, or you have any kind of comments on what you think might be a good one, or anything that I've done in the past that you want to see more of, hit me up in the comments down below. As always, if you like what you see, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe if you feel like it. If you want more news, reviews, and commentary on comic books, comic book movies, comic book TV shows, and games, and anything and everything inside the world of comics.